Welcome to today's lesson on Paragraph Graphic Organizer. Today you're going to make a graphic organizer that you can get out every time we write that will hopefully prompt you with what the different parts of a paragraph are and what you need to write to go in there. So the title of your graphic organizer should be Paragraph Graphic Organizer. Write this at the top of your page. You can pause the video and do that now. Also, don't forget that this is going to be just one side of the sheet. This is not a front and back, just the one side, so you got to make sure you leave room for your notes and for your drawings. This is the example of what should be on your sheet, minus the title. So please make sure you've got your title on from last slide, and you should have TS in a box with an equal sign. You should have the TE in an equal sign, analysis and 3 equal signs, the CS in an equal sign, and then don't forget the bracket on the right hand side that says chunk. Make sure all that is in the right place on your paper. Then what you're going to do as you watch this video, you're going to fill in notes about each one of these so that you've got some notes on what they mean and what they mean to you. The models, if you want to take notes on the model paragraphs and the model topic sentences and whatnot, that you'll probably need to do on your own paper, but don't put it on your organizer necessarily. That's not the place that it has to go. All right, hold on to your hats. Here we go into the notes on what to fill out for this organizer. Topic sentence is the very first sentence. That's what TS stands for. And if you look, the definition of a topic sentence is a sentence that tells the reader what the paragraph is going to be about. It introduces the main idea and controls the rest of the paragraph by developing that one single idea that you present in your topic sentence. If it's a body paragraph of a larger essay, then you're going to need to start your topic sentence with a transition word. That should be on your graphic organizer, TW, transition word. This topic sentence should also contain only one point of your thesis. Only one point of your thesis. This is not, here's what the whole paper is about, but one point. And again, these two are if it's a paragraph of a larger essay. An example of a topic sentence, a weak example, is there are many reasons why Mark McGuire should be allowed in the Hall of Fame. These are the types of topic sentences maybe you wrote in elementary or early middle school years. The topic is Mark McGuire. The claim is that he belongs in the Hall of Fame. A better topic sentence would get rid of there are many reasons why and just state the fact. Mark McGuire should be allowed in the Hall of Fame. Even stronger would be if this was a part of an essay, that it would give that one point of view about what this paragraph is going to be about. And that would be that Mark McGuire belongs in the Hall of Fame based on his strong hitting statistics. Note, it's just one reason in a topic sentence for that paragraph, but it comes from the thesis, which is going to cover the whole paper. And it doesn't cover other reasons why Mark McGuire should be in the Hall of Fame. Topic sentences also should not include any facts. You don't want to put in reasons why he belongs in the Hall of Fame, such as Mark McGuire belongs in the Hall of Fame because he hit 583 home runs. 583 home runs is a fact, but it doesn't belong in your topic sentence. Save that for your textual evidence or your concrete details. If you're writing a literary analysis paragraph, if you have a paragraph, not an essay, this is just a standalone paragraph, and it's about a piece of literature or an article, you'll want to put in the title, the author, and the genre. Note the example, the novel To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. The title, To Kill a Mockingbird, is there. The genre is that it's a novel. The author is Harper Lee. And so you want to have those pieces in there in your topic sentence if this is a standalone paragraph. If you're in a bigger essay, then the tag, title, author, genre, belongs in your thesis statement. Now we're on to textual evidence or concrete details. You should be on your next box. The definition of textual evidence are the facts that you're using to prove your point. They can come from your head or a piece of text. In language arts this year, we're going to focus on a lot of using text, articles, poems, you're going to use short stories, novels, etc. You should also use what we call TLC when you write a piece of textual evidence. It should start with a transition, the T, transition, to begin the chunk. You'll need a lead-in that introduces the quote and provides the context of the story where the quote's taken. Basically, who said what to whom. And finally, it should have a citation, and we're going to talk about how to do that more in the future. When you begin the chunk, you need to have a transition into the new chunk. So we're going to give you a transition word worksheet, and you can get more sophisticated and use phrases and sentences to do your transitioning as well. We prefer you use direct quotations. And here again is what I said earlier, you need to have a lead-in. You're providing the context. Who is saying what to whom? Look at the literary example. It says that Atticus tells Scout that she needs to. So here's Atticus is telling Scout what? That she needs to, and then we have our quote. Okay? In the article example, you have Tony LaRussa was asked in an interview with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch if he felt Mark McGuire was worthy of induction into the Hall of Fame. So we have Tony LaRussa talking to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and they're talking about Mark McGuire's induction into the Hall of Fame. And then we have our quote. Both of these have good lead-ins, and that's something that you'll need to make sure you have in your papers. And finally, citation. Citation in literary papers is where there's only one piece of lit. You can use a page number only. So if we're only writing about the article by Smith, and you've said that in your topic sentence, then you can put the page number. Or let's say you're writing about a book by Harper Lee, you can only put the page number, you don't have to put her last name. But that title, author, genre should be in your topic sentence or your thesis, and so it's clear where it's coming from. Okay? Notice if you've got a research paper where there are multiple sources, then you have to include the author's last name. Now we're on to the analysis section, or maybe some of you have called it commentary. This is where you have three different types of commentary that you can write. The first kind of commentary explains the concrete detail or textual evidence that you picked. Why did you pick this quote? What's it mean? The second commentary talks about how this ties to the real world. Why do we need to know this? What is it doing for us? And finally, you have to tie the quote back to the point you're trying to prove. All three of these things should be on your graphic organizer so you know what questions to ask and what questions to answer actually in your paragraphs. Here's an example. This is the textual evidence. For example, when Tony LaRussa was asked in an interview, if you remember, Tony LaRussa replied, "I think he is. I definitely think he is." So our analysis says Tony LaRussa was inducted this year into the Hall of Fame and wouldn't want anyone of questionable integrity to join him. Here we tied it to the real world. Since LaRussa was so positive and said that McGuire should definitely be a part of Hall of Fame, now we're tying it back to the concrete detail, we're explaining that quote, the reader can see there was not even a shade of doubt on LaRussa's part as to the worthiness of McGuire in the Hall of Fame. And now we've tied it back to the topic sentence. Note, this is not correct paragraph form because I labeled concrete detail and analysis. Nor does your analysis have to be in 1, 2, 3 order. You can mix it up. Nowhere did I use the words "this shows that" or did I say "this ties to the real world." You can use that in drafts to prompt yourself, but it should not appear in your final copies. Those words will need to be crossed out because guess what? If you look at the sentences after them, they're sentences, and you don't even need those words. Commentary or analysis tends to be the hardest part. It's often what makes or break the difference between an A and a B or a B or C paper. This is the area that's mostly focused on in high school writing, and we're going to really work on trying to get you to be better analysis writers. Now we're on to our last box on your graphic organizer that says concluding sentence. A concluding sentence starts with a transition word or phrase. It should paraphrase the topic sentence, not just rewrite it word for word. If this is a literary analysis paper, you do not need to restate the title, author, genre, but including 1 or 2 might be good. Again, we're paraphrasing what that topic sentence said. Here are some examples. Topic sentence said Mark McGuire should be allowed in the Hall of Fame. Well, our concluding sentence says, in brief, transition word, the sports writer should vote Mark McGuire into the Hall of Fame. Or, in brief, the Baseball Hall of Fame should include Mark McGuire. We've paraphrased the topic sentence, not just restated it word for word. here is what your graphic organizer should minimally include. So hopefully you've taken enough notes, and hopefully your organizer looks like this. If you want to pause now and double check, maybe highlight or underline some things on your organizer so it matches this, this is what we're going to use this year as you write your paragraphs and develop into even more sophisticated writers. Thanks for your time.